Hello my friends, and welcome to my video about the CoolGear USB Hub review and my conclusions and other hubs that I've bought in the past, because I figure you guys are my friends and I would like to share what I've learned buying a ton of hubs on Amazon and what are the benefits of them and what are not the benefits of them. So let's get right into the unboxing. So I kind of opened up this box already, so here's the hub. Here's the instruction. This is a USB 3.2 Gen 2 USB-C hub. What the benefit of this is this 10 gigabits per second super speed plus. Because the standard hubs that you're going to see, 3.1 and I believe 3.0 also are all 5 gigabits a second. That's one of those things to realize, that not all hubs are made the same. This is a beauty over here. Why did I go for this hub? Well, it is an industrial hub. What's cool about it is that it has 7 ports. It's USB 3.2 Gen 2. It has a solid metal body and different ways that you could connect to electricity with it. Notice this input port says 7 volts to 24 volts. What does that mean? In an industrial environment, you might have a variety of different power supplies. So in that case, technically you could plug in a 24 volt adapter into here and it's going to work. Or you could plug it in a 12 volt. Or you could plug this directly into your 12 volt battery bank. That's what's really cool about this port over here, is that you could configure it with your own wiring cables. You know, see the plus and the minus somewhere? Do we know which is plus? Okay, we see. We see which one is plus, we see which one is minus, and then we could plug in our own adapter, or we could use the standard 5521 plug. Why did I like this? Well, what they advertise with this unit is that it has ESD protection, electrostatic discharge. You know that kind of thing when you touch a computer, sometimes you get an electric kind of spark. Some people say it could damage your computer, but most likely not. But I'd rather not take any chances. Think about it like this: in a situation where you're plugging in 7 devices. So let's say you have a couple USB hard drives or USB this kind. Would you want some sort of electrostatic discharge to kind of transfer over and damage your equipment? I don't think so, especially when you have so much attached to it. What I like about this unit, it has a variety of ports. So these are all USB 3.2 Gen 2, or basically put, it's USB 3.1 Gen 2 also, because what you need to look at when you're looking at hubs is that it doesn't really matter as much that it's USB 3.2 or 3.1, is that it's 10 gigabits a second. In most cases, it really wouldn't matter, because most USB ports, at least on some laptops that I have, I found that they're only 5 gigabits a second. But I prefer getting the full 10 gigabits a second bandwidth to the port. Why do I say this? Because think about it like this, right? You have a USB port that's 10 gigabits a second. 10 gigabits a second, that means 1,000 megabytes a second. So let's say you plug in 2 hard drives into here, and they could be reading up to a gigabyte a second each. You know, they have SSD drives nowadays. So you transfer a file from one to another. Maybe it's taking 500 megabytes a second from this one and transferring it to 500 megabytes a second here. But then if you think about it, if you had the 2 hard drives connected to these 2 ports and it's only 5 gigabits, you would be transferring 250 megabytes and then receiving 250 megabytes. And if you really think about also the 10 gigabits per second port, it means you could do up to a gigabyte a second. So when you have a lot of devices plugged in like this, the advantage is that most of your devices are going to run full speed, because obviously you're not going to be running your hard drives like, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But let's say if you had a Steam gaming library, let's say, and you plugged in a hard drive that's nice and fast, let's say that could do up to 800 megabytes a second, a gigabyte a second, you can plug it in and it's going to work nice. Also, what I like about this unit is that it's a powered hub. So you're going to notice that when you start trying to plug in way too many devices into USB ports, sometimes you get that Windows sound that it's connected and disconnected, connected and disconnected. If I understand it correctly, there's only so much juice or so much power that could be fed from your USB port to your device. So the reason being is that it's, it can only do so much. Your laptop port or your desktop port, it can only do so much. Another thing that I like about this unit is these wall mounting bracket type of situation. You don't see this in any other hubs that we might explore later in this video, but the wall mounting is really important. Also, what I like about this unit is that it has a USB-C uplink port, which is also in a nice way. If you think about it, look at this. It can screw in, so it's not going to get disconnected from your hub. If it's connected to the wall, you don't have any worries about it breaking. And then this one, you can connect to the PC, and you could have, let's say, a USB docking station for, let's say, for your laptop with a full keyboard and a printer connected there. You can pretty much connect all your peripherals. Because if you think about it, a lot of keyboards, you can use up, let's say a keyboard uses 2 ports, and a mouse uses a 3rd port because, the gaming keyboards have RGB on them. You connect a phone, then you connect a hard drive, then you can connect maybe some other thing like a USB stick, and then you have all these things filled up. So I like that with the ESD protection, it should keep it nice and protected. So I don't see that advertised with anything that's not industrial, but perhaps maybe in an industrial environment that's very important. And what you're going to notice is that if you go to the website of these guys, is that most of their hubs are USB 3.2 Gen 1, which are only 5 gigabits a second. This is their fastest hub, which they don't even have a proper description for on their own website, which is fine, but it's okay, guys, and I figure you guys would want a proper description. So here is the installation guide. Let's read this over. It has these different connection ports. Power LEDs, USB upstream. Okay, let's read the second page. If we could open this. DC 2-pin terminal blocks. Oh, we have LED statuses for these different ports. Oh, really? That's pretty interesting. Look at that. See, these two for these two over here. You have this status here, these two for those, and those two for that. I didn't know that there was an LED status. Power LED, there are 7 green LEDs. Off, steady on, USB is detected and ready. Off is USB not detected. Fast 3.2. The small 24 pin. USB 4, okay, very good. Warning, please make sure the polarity of the input. Yeah, guys, this is very important. If you put the wrong polarity, it could break something. Use remove possible static discharge potential. Apply DC power. Connect the USB host cable. And let's see, connect the USB devices. Generic USB hub. Here is your 3.2 metal hub. Environmental specifications. Okay. So, I like that. And let's see. It comes with a power brick. Let's see so you see that UL logo? That's very nice. Sometimes these guys are cheap and they don't put a UL listed. They just put a C, but you see all these different labels. Apparently they mean a lot. Also, what's cool about it is it's 12 volt, 3 amps. So what that means is that you could technically, in an industrial situation, have a backup battery supply that's 12 volts, lithium iron phosphate battery, and be connected directly to it and make your own cabling to it also. And it uses the standard barrel jack, the 5.5 by 2.1 millimeter jack, we've seen this USB-C cable. This is really nice. They sell a bunch more of these cables at their website, which is kind of cool. That, you know, you could screw it in, and all these ports are screw-inable, if that's a word. So technically put, you could put this hub somewhere and never, you know, forget about it. You know it's going to be working for years very well. Let me see what else. Is there anything else here? And there's another power block. Okay, so now that we looked at the exact product, let's actually go over and check out, you know, the listing actually. All right, so this is the listing. This is not the cheapest hub, I know, but I'm an enthusiast of high-end gear, and I love this kind of stuff. You know, especially when it's high quality. And spending money on electronics, this whole ESD protection made me kind of very interested in it. And that it's real mountable too. That's really cool. Not much in the reviews. Say 0 reviews. I should probably write a review about this. But let's move on to other hubs. So this is the hub. The links are listed below, so you can check this out. You know, yes, these are affiliate links. If you guys buy something on Amazon after clicking my link, I might get a few, whatever, pennies or per dollar, but that doesn't matter. I want to share my experience with you guys and share other hubs that I've actually bought myself. I'm not being paid by anybody. I spend my own money on this. So I figured you guys are USB hub shopping. So what's cool about this is that it's powered. So when you plug in a lot of devices like a bunch of hard drives and stuff like that, you probably want them powered all the time and not be draining the USB port and making it connect and disconnect. But let's try this one, Yoda Master. This Yoda Master is a hub that is also powered. Okay, that one I can't really say much about, but this one I could say a lot about. This is probably my favorite hub for powering Mac products. Which Mac products? Well, like this iPad Pro, this is a 12.9-inch 2018 version with the LTE chip on it. I prefer using a wired connection. So this has an Ethernet port on it and a whole bunch of different other connectors where you could actually connect you know, SD cards, USB ports, and such things like this. What you're going to notice with this hub, what I like about this hub, is that you could use your own USB-C port. So the length that you need. So let's say if you need 3 feet, you use 3 feet, 6 feet, 10 feet, whatever you like. So that's what's really nice, is that the actual wire is detachable. It's USB-C. It works with any device. It has 1 gigabit Ethernet on it. And the last thing to note is that on my Mac Pro, this one doesn't disconnect the Ethernet connection. I found that when I used another hub or other hubs that had Ethernet ports in them, the hub would disconnect and I would lose internet until I clicked a bunch of refresh a bunch of times, which was really annoying. Right now, my Mac Pro, I just touch the screen button and it wakes up and I just go to any website I want. So this hub is really nice. Mac products, and it charges. It does USB-C power delivery. So you put a 100-watt power supply to this and it charges your Mac Pro. It charges an iPad. It charges whatever you think, whatever you need actually. All right, so I can't say any more about it. I bought a bunch of these. That's a great hub for powering and charging a laptop especially. Let's see this guy. Well, why I like this hub is that it has USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports. So that means, so when you're reading over here, you see this part that says 10 gigabits a second. So sometimes you have a hub that says 3.1, but it's 10 gigabits a second. So the USB, I mean, these people making USB drives are, you know, really retarded. What's cool about this is that it has a long extension cord. So you plug this in and you could, you know, have a whole bunch of stuff connected. So I have to say that's pretty nice. Minisopuru. This one is pretty cool too. This hub is for, let's say you don't need an Ethernet connector. Let's say you're connected in Wi-Fi, or you want to use, let's say, a 5 gigabits a second Ethernet adapter. So let's say 5 times faster than standard Ethernet. You could plug it into this. So what I like about this is that because it skips out all the different HDMI ports and all those things, it gives you 4 10 gigabit a second ports. This connector is a bit short, but there are little splicer connector cables that you could connect anything to. And you could plug in a 100-watt power delivery into it. So I do have a laptop that I use with this unit, and it's really nice because I plugged in a 5 gigabit Ethernet into one port, and the other side it plugs in, so I get fast internet, fast connection to my home network, and I enjoy it. And then I have a whole bunch of extra ports that I could use for other devices, so which is really cool. I highly recommend this unit for those that might not need, that already have Wi-Fi or want just USB-C ports that are fast speed. This unit I really like. I have these in 4-foot types, and there used to be a 10-foot type, but now there's only 15 and 25 feet. What's cool about this USB hub is that it's not powered, so you don't need to connect the power connector to this. And it's really long, and it has 2 USB-C ports and 2 USB-A ports, but it's only 5 gigabits a second. So take with it what you will, but if you need to connect, let's say, a keyboard and a mouse and things like this, and connection speed doesn't really matter, and when you connect 4 devices to one USB port, usually it's fine, and you have, unless it's a high-power device, it's a USB speaker or something, it's fine connecting to this unit. I like it. The cable is long and things like this. That's another one. And this guy. I just like Anker. This one is very inexpensive. Anker stuff just works very well. And, it's 2 feet long. So this is just a regular USB-A 3.0, 5 gigabits a second. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this. 10 gigabits versus 5 gigabits. What types of different hubs are available. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing and review. If I uploaded this, and obviously I connected this unit and I enjoyed it, and it works great. I hope this helps out the people that are out there that are looking for some fantastic USB hubs. And so good luck with everything, and leave your comments below. I mean, let's have a discussion. What do you find with USB hubs? What do you need for them? So in conclusion, you get the right hub for the right job. So whether you need to charge a MacBook, whether you want wired in Ethernet, whether you want 5 gigabits wired Ethernet, whether you want to have universal compatibility with MacBooks, whether you want something that's industrial and has solid electrostatic discharge protection, it's up to you guys. So thumb up, subscribe, and let's have fun. Bye-bye.